If not, we'll continue. Okay, so yesterday we understood what are the minimum requirements for VCF and the components of VCF, and what are the components of VCF, okay, Cloud Builder, SDDC, and all. We'll briefly see like from the deployment and day-to-day management. So what will be the things that we will be handling? Okay. So to start with the deployment of VCF, first we need to deploy the very first component is called Cloud Builder. Okay, it's a virtual appliance .ova file you can download from VMware, cloudbuilder.ova. That you need to deploy on a laptop. You can deploy Cloud Builder here. Okay, or you can directly deploy it on any ESXi server in your platform. So directly you can deploy on laptop here, or you can directly deploy on any one of the ESXi also. But this Cloud Builder VM should be in the same network on the ESXi host. Whatever the network address we have given here, it should be in the same network. Okay. In our lab, I will show you how I have deployed it. I have an ESXi server called 250. Okay. So here you log in with root and its password. Okay. So I have an ESXi server where I have, you can see here, 384 gigs of memory, latest gold processor, and 3 terabyte of hard disk. So here I have deployed a machine called Cloud Builder. I'm powering on. So here I have deployed directly on the ESXi host. You can do it on laptop also, but this should be in the same network as your other ESXi hosts. Okay. So minimum 4 ESXi hosts are needed for management domain, which will hold all our management VMs. Okay. vCenters, NSX managers, Cloud Builder, SDDC, all other components like that. Now, when you want to deploy VCF, the first thing you need to do is Cloud Builder. You need to deploy here. Okay. Once you deploy, this will have all the images that are needed, like ESXi, NSX managers, SDDC manager. All the components will be there. So it is around like 29 GB of OVA. Okay, 29 GB big OVA file. You need to download and keep. So once you deploy this Cloud Builder in the same network as your ESXi host, then we have to prepare one sheet before you deploy anything. We have to prepare one Excel sheet or JSON file, JSON script file. Okay. This like just basic information what you have to fill under here. Credentials we have to give, ESXi root password, because ESXi will be automatically installed by the SDDC manager. So that SDDC manager will use this file to set this root password, root as username and this password. For vCenter, administrator at vSphere.local, root password, NSX manager, SDDC manager, everything. Okay, all the passwords we have to give. It can be different passwords, but I have given the same password. It will be easy for me to log in. Okay, so we have to fill this sheet first. That's simple, like just a complex password, minimum 12 characters, and it's a regular complex password. Then go to host and networks tab. Here it is very important. To fill this sheet itself, we need to work with network admin, our organization network admin. All these 4 different networks should be in virtual machine management network. So it's normal virtual machine port group, ESXi VM kernel port group, vMotion separate port group, vSAN separate port group. All 4 port groups should have 4 different networks, 4 different VLANs, okay, 4 different network series also. If I give same network series, it will not accept, it will fail. Okay, so it should be in a different network. That's why we have to create different VLANs also. That's why you need to work with your organization network admin here to fill this sheet. Gateways and maximum transmission unit should be 9000. Jumbo frame should be enabled. Okay. And here we have to give vMotion starting IP and vSAN starting IP for all. Okay, for this network vMotion and so here we have 4 ESXi hosts, right? For 4 ESXi hosts, we need like 4 VM kernel port groups. vMotion here, and vSAN here. So all 4 IPs are needed. Those 4 IPs we are filling here. Okay, I've taken extra IPs also, 11 to 9. Total 8 IPs I will get. Okay, so 11 to 9 I have filled up. So then here distributed switch name. What is the DV switch name that we want to create in the management domain? Using these 4 ESXi hosts, management domain will be created. Okay, so in this domain, like domain is nothing but vSphere suite, like vCenter, ESXi host, virtual machines. So in that vCenter, what is the DV switch name that you want to create? Here you can give, and which NIC should be used on each ESXi host. Which NICs are designed for DV switch? You can select the NIC cards, jumbo frames, and VLANs, whether you are using VLANs or not. Okay. So if you want to validate SSL certificate while adding the host into the vCenter, always we get notification. Do you want to accept the SSL thumbprint or not? Okay, always we say yes. If you say yes, you need to copy that SSL certificate thumbprint and copy paste it here for 4 different ESXi hosts, 4 ESXi hosts. I said no, so it will be automatically connected without accepting the thumbprint. Okay. Okay. Then the vSphere, this you can leave it as it is. It's a profile name inside the DV switch database. That's not a mandatory. Okay. So if you are using DHCP, that VLAN ID you can give automatically to get the network IPs from the DHCP. We are not using DHCP, so it's 0. It will take time to get these VLANs created and get the IP series and other information. You need to get it from your network admin. Then other parameters like DNS IP in your organization, NTP server, we have to give. And domain name in our lab, it is SVIT That's why I have given SVIT Okay. DNS server, domain name. If you want to provide license also now, if you have already purchased license from VMware website, you can put the license here. This cloud builder itself automatically apply the license to the host and vCenter, NSX manager, everything. It will only assign the licenses also. Okay. If you don't want to apply right now, build it and 60 days you will get it for free. Then also you can manually assign this license in a regular manner. If you have keys, you can supply now itself, else later. And customer experience improvement program, if you want to join, here we will say yes. So what it will do, it will automatically collect, same like vSphere only. It will collect the data from our VCF platform solution and send it to VMware. They have a visibility of your platform information, how you configured it, what settings you enabled, what are missing. If you are missing any best practices, they will recommend like that. Okay. So normally we don't prefer to share our data, so we'll set it to no. Okay. And SDDC Manager effects is a different security method. Like every packet will be encapsulated, like it will be secure packets will be used to send and receive. We don't want to use that security within our lab, so I've said no. Okay. Then the name of our vCenter, management domain, vCenter name, IP address, I have given like this here. Whether vCenter should be small, tiny, you can see large, extra large, right? While deploying the vCenter, you get all these 4 options. Tiny vCenter, only 10 ESXi hosts you can manage. Small, 100 ESXi hosts. Medium, around 400. Okay, like that. The capacity of, I'll select small. The capacity of inventory will be chosen here. Okay, data center name and cluster name, how you want to name your cluster and data center. It will automatically create one data center, one cluster, add all these 4 management ESXi hosts into the data center and cluster. Okay. So here there are 2 models, standard and consolidated. We can select whatever the mode you want to create. Consolidated architecture, and that is like this. This one. So everything will be placed on the 4 ESXi host. Okay. It will create a resource pool for management domain, create another resource pool for workload domain, and NSX, another one resource pool for NSX manager. Okay. Edge cluster, manager, everything will be placed here. Okay. All of them will be placed in a different resource pool within the same vCenter. If it is standard architecture, if you choose standard, we need to have separate vCenters. Okay, it's like you need 3 or 4 hosts for management domain. It's a separate, and again workload domain is separate. You need to have separate 3 hosts. So total 7 hosts are needed minimum. Okay, if you want to practice, minimum 7 ESXi hosts are needed. If you choose consolidated design, 3 to 4 are enough. We can manage with 3 hosts also or 4 hosts also. Okay, that's why for small and medium companies, this will be enough. Depends on their work, how many number of VMs they want to place. Okay, choose standard or consolidated. If you say consolidated, you need to provide the resource pool names here. Okay, edge cluster for workload, and this is for management domain. So 3 resource pool names you can set as per your requirement. And a data store name, it will automatically create vSAN data store, because vSAN is preferred storage model in this architecture. So it will create automatically one vSAN data store, and this will be the name. If you want to give your name, you can give whatever the name that you want. Okay. If you want to enable deduplication and compression, it's a data space saving technology. Okay, deduplication and compression. If you want to enable, normally it is preferred to enable, because instead of saving, we can save a lot of space in the data store with the deduplication. And ESA is the latest architecture within vSAN. Older method is OSA. Right now it is ESA. Latest method, latest architecture within vSAN, that we'll see during the vSAN. Okay. Fine. So all this information we have to supply within this Excel sheet. Once you supply, then go to Cloud Builder. I have given IP as 100. So, okay. So log into this Cloud Builder IP using its username and password. This is Cloud Builder interface. I have tried a couple of times. It's like this. Once you log in for the first time, it will be like this. Select vCloud Foundation. So what is this? This is about Dell VxRail. It is like hardware. Dell VxRail hardware. vCloud Foundation will be set up. Some extra custom configurations are needed for Dell EMC VxRail installation. This is our own hardware installation. Select VCF, review the agreement terms. Next. So here we have to supply that Excel file, JSON file or Excel file. We have, in our case, we have Excel file. We have filled the data. Select the file, wherever it is, choose it. Okay. Next. So during the next step, it will validate whatever the information we have provided here in the Excel sheet. It will verify for all the pre-checks, whether all these networks are in different VLANs or not. It should not be in the same network, whether they are in the different network or not, whether these names are reachable, DNS names are resolvable or not. Lot of other things it will automatically validate. Okay. So in our case, it's failing because these machines are not reachable because of DNS issue. Failed to ping ESXi host because these are not powered on it. Okay. Once we power on, this will be solved. So whatever the issues that occurs here, we need to keep checking the issues here and fix it. Okay. In our case, this issue is not fixed. This is not an issue. All these ESXi hosts are powered up. Once we power on, they will. If this problem will be solved. If there is any other validation failures, that we will check here again. Again, check and fix. So these things, as of now, we are doing manually within vSphere, like setting DNS names, verifying manually whether they are, once you install the ESXi, whether they are pinging or not, DNS names are resolved or not. Okay, all those were we used to do manually. Once you build ESXi host, first check ping, then ping with name, then add it to vCenter, like that manually we used to do. Now it is automated here itself. You don't need to do that manually. Okay, automatically it will add. Okay. If it fails, then we need to check what is failing, fix it, then try again. Okay. It's like that. So automatically it will perform all these validations and then automatically it will install them. Once all the validations are cleared, successfully completed, then it will automatically start deploying the very first one called SDDC Manager. Automatically it will deploy SDDC VM. In this 20 GB file, it will have the information needed for SDDC. It's like another OVA inside OVA. It will have all the information. It will automatically deploy on the supplied ESXi management domain ESXi host. Okay, very first one. Then make sure management domain is created. So vCenter with the management domain, with cluster, vSAM data store, NSX manager, everything will be deployed. Once it is deployed, it will offload the entire work, cloud builder work, to the SDDC manager. Means ikkada information mother, so it's your responsibility from now on. My work is completed. Okay, so ikkada information mother SDDC handover chest. My work is completed. This is only for initial deployment. So my work is completed. Now it's up to you. You manage your management domain and workload domain. Everything it will offload to the SDDC manager. From now onwards, we don't need this cloud builder anymore. Once the deployment is completed. Now from admin laptop, we directly log into SDDC Manager and manage our regular things. Okay, that interface you can see here. Okay. Workload domains. If you click on workload domains, you can see here host. If you want to remove host or add host into the VCF foundation domains, you can prepare them here. Network settings, storage, licenses, okay, SSO, usernames and passwords. Okay. Backup of this SDDC Manager, vCenter, NSX Manager, you can manage from here. And solutions, connect this VCF with your vCloud, any other cloud products, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, any cloud, you can directly connect here, solutions. So from this VCF portal itself, you can manage your Azure VMs also, okay, your AWS VMs also, and your own VMs also. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to add, like one of the cluster is full, you want to add one more cluster for VMs, production VMs. Here you can see add workload domains, add ESXi host, commission ESXi host means provisioning of ESXi host. Okay. Properly it will be added back, and if you want to remove also, properly it will be removed. We should not be directly dealing with host directly on the vCenter level. Okay. Any questions as of now?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Please correct me if my understanding is correct or not. మనం మామూలుగా ఇప్పుడు VMware Cloud Foundation ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ చేయడం కోసం 4 హోస్ట్లు అయితే మ్యాండేటరీ. Am I correct?
Yes.
సో దట్ ఈస్ ఆన్ ప్రిమైజ్ లో తీసుకోవాలా లేకపోతే మనం అవి కూడా VCF క్లౌడ్ లోనే మనం యాక్సెస్ చేసుకుంటాం?
అవి కూడా VCF క్లౌడ్ లో, దట్స్ కాల్డ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ డొమైన్. అవి కూడా VCF క్లౌడ్ లోనే ఇక్కడే చూడొచ్చు మనం కూడా. ఇక్కడ వర్క్ లో డొమైన్స్ ఉంది కదా, ఇక్కడ మనం మేనేజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. మేనేజ్మెంట్ డొమైన్ ఇక్కడే చూపిస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ వర్క్ లోడ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ and the count here, management domain and VI domain, both you can manage from here.
Okay. So for management domain, we should have to use 4 host mandatory.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is in standard design. If you go with consolidated design, see here, management domain separate 4 ESXi hosts and only management VMs will be there. SDDC Manager, vCenters, NSX clusters, Edge clusters, NSX Manager, everything will be running here. We realize suit, everything will be here, not production VMs. ఆ 4 host లో ఓన్లీ మేనేజ్మెంట్ VMs, మన ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ రన్ చేయడానికి కావాల్సిన మేనేజ్మెంట్ VMs మాత్రమే ఉంటాయి ఇక్కడ.
Okay.
కస్టమర్ డజంట్ హ్యావ్ దట్ మచ్ బడ్జెట్, ఆ 4 host ఓన్లీ ఆ మేనేజ్మెంట్ VM రన్ చేయడానికి ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయాలి, టూ మచ్ ఆఫ్ మనీ. అలా అనుకున్నప్పుడు లైక్ స్మాల్ కంపెనీ అయినప్పుడు కన్సాలిడేటెడ్ డిజైన్కి వెళ్ళచ్చు. ఆ 4 host మీదనే మొత్తం ఇంక్లూడింగ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ VMs అండ్ ఆల్సో ప్రొడక్షన్ VMs మనం అక్కడే రన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
In that case, like consolidation,
రిసోర్స్ పూల్స్ ద్వారా సపరేట్ చేస్తాం. ఇక్కడైతే కంప్లీట్ vCenter ద్వారానే సపరేట్ చేస్తాం. ఇది వేరే vCenter, ఇది వేరే vCenter. దీంట్లో ఉన్న హోస్ట్లు వేరే, దీంట్లో ఉన్న హోస్ట్లు వేరే. స్టాండర్డ్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్.
ఓకే.
మేనేజ్మెంట్ డొమైన్ హోస్ట్లు వేరే, vCenter వేరే, ఇక్కడ హోస్ట్లు వేరే, vCenter వేరే. సో ఇక్కడ ఒక vCenter దాంట్లో ఉన్న 4 హోస్ట్లు, వాటికన్నిటికీ లైసెన్స్ కానీ లైక్ హార్డ్వేర్ పర్చేస్ కానీ ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్ అవుతుంది. చిన్న కంపెనీలు అంత ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ మేనేజ్ చేయలేము. ఇప్పుడు కూడా ఉన్నాయి సపరేట్ గానే. ఇప్పుడున్న లైక్ వెరీ హ్యూజ్ కంపెనీస్ ఆర్ స్టిల్ యూజింగ్ దిస్ మోడల్ ఓన్లీ, బట్ నాట్ విత్ VCF. సపరేట్ గా ఉన్నాయి. 2 to 3 2 హోస్ట్లు ఉన్నాయి, 3 హోస్ట్లు ఉన్నాయి, సపరేట్ హోస్ట్లు ఉన్నాయి. వాటి మీద మేనేజ్మెంట్ VMs అన్నీ ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు కూడా లైసెన్స్ పే చేస్తున్నారు. బట్ ఇక్కడ VCF ఏంటంటే అన్ని ఒక చోట మనం మేనేజ్ చేయొచ్చు. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ అలాంటి సిచ్యుయేషన్ లేని వాళ్ళు, అంత బడ్జెట్ లేని వాళ్ళు కన్సాలిడేటెడ్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ వెళ్ళొచ్చు. ఇక్కడ ఎలా సపరేట్ చేసుకుంటాం మేనేజ్మెంట్, రిసోర్స్ పూల్స్ యూజ్ చేసి VMs ని సపరేట్ రిసోర్స్ పూల్ లో ప్లేస్ చేస్తాం. సో స్మాల్ అండ్ మీడియం కంపెనీస్ కి ఇది యూస్ఫుల్ గా ఉంటుంది, అంత బడ్జెట్ లేని వాళ్ళు.
ఓకే.
సో minimum 3 to 4 hosts are mandatory. Management domain 4 hosts mandatory, and for workload domain production VMs ki 3 hosts are mandatory. If you go with consolidated model, consolidated architecture, minimum 3 are enough. Manage with resource pools, workload management VMs and also production VMs, we place it on the same vCenter.
Same. Okay.
Single vCenter. Yeah. Okay. So now using SDDC Manager, we can manage the regular operations and regular lifecycle management, deployment works. Okay. What can be done using
As
SDDC?
like vCenter console. Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. First component we need to set up SDDC Manager, then vCenter, ESXi host, NSX Manager, Edge cluster, okay. Then we area suite. Okay. Components will be installed. This will be first before vCenter. It should be there for networking. Okay. Area suite can be done later also. Okay. Like this. Order will be like this. Not only production VMs, I said like different workloads can be managed here, like a Tanzu, which is nothing but container technology within VMware. Okay. vSphere, this is nothing but production VMs. And also desktop VMs, nothing but horizon view. All these purposes we can, as of now we are separately using, right, horizon view separately. Instead of production VMs, we can place horizon view also here. Tanzu clusters also here. Okay. vSphere with Tanzu like that. So everything can be managed. Deployment order will be like this. First NSX managers will be deployed, edge cluster, and which will prepare the networking for vCenter and ESXi host. Then vCenter, host, and area suite. This is optional. If you want to use it, you can use it. And it comes for free with VCF architecture. And again, subscription models are there, 3 different subscription models. It will be there for free. Using SDDC Manager, what can be done? This is very important because our everyday work will be from the SDDC Manager. That interface we have seen, right? This interface. So I've listed out the tasks here. Provisioning of new ESXi host, decommission of ESXi host. Nowadays, like now, if you want to decommission ESXi host within vCenter, we directly enter host into maintenance mode, remove from DB switch, shut it down, remove from vCenter. So from now here, as it is managed by VCF SDDC Manager, we cannot directly remove from vCenter. So we have to decommission properly from SDDC Manager. It's like on top of vCenter, one more layer is added, SDDC Manager. And from that top layer, you need to properly decommission. And you don't need to do all these things. Manually enter host into maintenance mode, remove from DB switch, okay, then remove from inventory. No need to do manually. If you just click one button, decommission host, it will do automatically. Even if you miss to do anything, it will automatically do. Manually, there is a possibility of missing, removing from DB switch. Directly we enter into maintenance mode, remove from inventory. Okay, if it is connected to DB switch, it will fail. Here there is no possibility. It will automatically do step by step. Okay. So workload domains, like if you want to provision first production cluster, you can using deployment section, we can do it. Here in the picture, you can see that. Okay, workload domains. Click on add workload domain, it will automatically add. Okay, like extending a cluster, like if you want to add one more cluster, one cluster is full. If you want to create one more cluster within the vCenter server, normally we right click on the vCenter, right click, manually create cluster, add host. Here from SDDC Manager itself, you just say add extension of one more cluster, automatically it will be added. Okay, host and clusters, HA and DRS will be by default will be added, enabled HA and DRS. Okay. If you want to add into the management domain, let's say your management domain is also increased, you can add more management hosts, workload domains. Very important thing, network pools, set of network for different. As of now, network pools, we are also still managing vCenter also, like with respect to port groups. We create a port group, assign some VMs there, different. Here we create network pools, and for that pools, we will use for different purposes. Okay? Like port groups we manage here. Then license for vSAN, host, everything we can manage the licenses from here itself. We realize deployment of VROps, login site, ARIA automation, we can do it from here. When you have SDDC Manager, you don't need ARIA automation. Maybe in the future that will be removed also. Okay, ARIA automation. It's the same purpose. VCF or vCloud Director or ARIA automation. It's all three does the same job. Okay, instead of manually creating the VMs and managing vCenters, it will do it from the cloud panel. So now we have three different uh, things doing the same, like vCloud Director, but it has a lot of other things. vCloud Director, ARIA automation, almost same. Now it is coming like VCF also. That's the same job. Okay, this part. All three are almost parallel products only from the same company. I'm expecting this will be removed soon, ARIA automation, because from VCF itself you can do this all the tasks. And this cannot be removed because this is for resellers. Companies will take license from VMware and they resell the cloud infrastructure to customers. This will not be touched, and this may be killed soon. Okay, its usage is also less in the market. When VCF is in place, you don't need automation. That will be, I'm expecting, not officially announced. Because Broadcom is like consolidating all the products within VMware. So that's what. Then lifecycle management, nothing but patching, upgrade. When you want to upgrade, the sequence is also very important. Okay, first SDDC Manager, then ARIA suite and NSX Manager. Then finally it comes to vCenter, then ESXi host will be the last. Okay, SDDC Manager, NSX Manager is second, then ARIA suite, then vCenter, then ESXi host will be the last upgrade. If you want to upgrade the platform, we say from let's say 5.2 to 9. If you want to upgrade, this will be the sequence. This will be our job. Patching also the same. Okay. And if you are using certificate, internal self-signed certificate or CA signed, like certificate authority, wildcard certificate, that management you can do it from this SDDC Manager. As of now, we are directly doing from vCenter. Now we do it from here itself. Okay, and that will be once in a year. It's not regular work. Certificate management will be once in a year. And passwords, you can keep 90 days passwords and keep managing from here. Let's say if you forget ESXi password or vCenter password, you can reset from here itself. Also user password, who logs into SDDC Manager and their passwords, you can manage from here itself. Cluster, Edge, NSX Edge, the same thing we discussed in the network part. Okay. NSX Edge cluster deployment. Backup configuration. If you want to take the backup of all these components, this same like vCenter, when we take backup from WAMI page. So here also the configuration information can be backed up using here. Backup here. CIP is nothing but customer experience improvement program. So our settings will be shared with VMware. So we don't want to share that. Clear? So that will be our regular work with respect to SDDC Manager. And that's what we, as of now, we are doing manually from vCenter. Now we do it from SDDC Manager. Okay. Apart from that, some more regular work when we say we are working with VCF. Same thing here, like capacity, the same things which we discussed in SD. Extra thing is like troubleshooting. If there is any problem, within that product, we will be troubleshooting physical or virtual. Okay. And this we will do like instead of just in the pictures or images, we will do all these activities live in our lab itself. Okay, we have servers already purchased and ready. Okay, we have started deploying, and right now we are facing this issue. We will fix it. We were in the setting up labs. Okay, we are fixing. Once we power on, like next time we'll see what it will. So once all this completed, this you will get opportunity to do. Okay, you will also get opportunity to do everything here like this live lab, not instead of just pictures or HOL labs. We'll do it on the live infrastructure. Okay, hands-on practice you will get. Okay, but one after the other, like multiple people cannot be done at a time, because to practice it, like we need minimum 4 ES6 cycles, right? Let's say minimum 3, minimum consolidated architecture. Let's say minimum 3 itself. We have in our lab, we have like let's say 3 servers. Only one person can practice. Once that person is completed, we will remove everything. Then another next person. So we will allocate the time accordingly, because this is very expensive. Okay? To purchase the server is very expensive. We just allocate the time accordingly and do it. Okay. And we'll give enough time to practice again. Like if you want to practice one more time, you can do. We will give unlimited access until 2 to 3 months of time, until you get full hands-on experience. Okay. And with respect to vSAN, we will teach about completely vSAN. Okay, so how vSAN structure, architecture, components, how we enable day-to-day work, like that. And with respect to NSX, only deployment and edge work, whatever the edge gateways we discussed, right? That's what every day we manage on the edge clusters, edge gateways. Okay. Cluster is nothing but multiple gateways. Gateway is a single router. It's a single virtual router. Whatever the day-to-day work we manage as part of this VCF platform, that will, with respect to network, it will be on the edge gateways that we will discuss, not the complete NSXT. Tanzu we are not going to cover, but it's completely different product. They say like Tanzu platform can be deployed and integrated with VCF. We are not managing Tanzu because it's all containers. Ariasuit, like yes, we completely manage VROPs, okay, end-to-end VROPs like deployment, configuration, and upgradation. All those things we will see with respect to VROPs. Okay. All the components we will deploy and change the settings. Everybody will get opportunity to hands-on practice with respect to this lab platform. And okay, the documentation, finally we will share the documentation, and all these topics will be automatically recorded in the teachment. Okay, all the live classes will be handled. I'll just add to that point. Let's say you have already a cluster, right? So using 2-3, let's say 3 hosts, there is a workload domain already and a cluster already. Okay, there is a cluster already. Now you want to add host. When you say commission host, it's like adding host into cluster. Hardware is ready. Okay, so the SDDC manager itself, SDDC manager, automatically it will go to the hardware, install the ESXi operating system that we need to supply. Okay, the IPs we need to supply. It will automatically install and automatically add host here. If it is a vSAN, it will automatically add into the vSAN cluster. vSAN data store will be created using this storage as well. We get more storage. Automatically port groups will be created. Automatically it's released from maintenance mode. It will be ready to host VMs. So everything is automated. When you say commission host, automatically everything will be done. You don't need to do any manual work here.